Good evening, everybody. Live and not live. Happy solstice. Happy Pride Week. Happy Tarot Tuesday. Thank you guys all for joining us this evening, whether you're joining us live or for the replay, either on Instagram or on YouTube. Welcome, and thank you for attending this week's tarot card read. I don't know if you all can see or not, but we have Boston. She's just off camera, the witchy little Boston cat looking straight up at the camera, but you can't quite see her. But trust that she's here, wishing us all well. And here comes Hunter. Looks like he's going to be less shy. He's coming right on up to join us. So, one other thing I mentioned, happy Pride Week, but also happy World Cup Week. This is the round of 16. It's the Women's World Cup, and a lot of us have been having a lot of fun watching. So, congratulations to every country who made it, and to those who haven't, condolences, and see you in 4 years. Yay! So, 2 cats are here. We've got some sage burning underneath you. I don't know if you all can see, but here's the sage. So go ahead and breathe it on in, and why don't we take a couple of deep cleansing breaths, and we will allow your spirit guides to hover. And we're going to get some messages brought through for plenty folks this evening. We've got card 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to see what Spirit has to say for you all this evening. So, before we get started, why don't we do our breath of fire so that we can clear out any blocks so that we might be open and ready to receive these messages that are coming through for you this evening as 2 cats fight with each other off camera. So, this room has been blessed. We've got some sage here for you to enjoy. We're going to cleanse your soul. And wherever you are, whether you're seated or standing, if you're driving or watching, doesn't matter. We're going to do this cleansing breath. I want you to imagine your tailbone. Find your tailbone in your mind's eye. And imagine that your tailbone is pulsing with glittering, healing white light, or golden light, or whatever comes to your imagination. But see that light glowing, glittering, healing. And as you breathe this evening, you're going to distribute this throughout your entire body. And this golden light, which will be represented by the sunlight that's coming through this window very conveniently, this golden light is going to permeate your entire being and feel that this light is pulling anything that you don't want, any pain, any type of injuries, you have tendinitis, or if it's like heartache, something that you're holding in your heart, stomach ache, anything. It's going to be different for everybody, but send this healing golden light to those areas so that it can absorb it, and as you breathe it out, you're going to let it go. And then that energy is going to be transmuted by your angels and turned into goodness for the betterment of the universe. And you'll be free of the negativity, and it'll be transmuted with alchemy. These angels are very, very skilled at these things. So your job is not to worry about how. Your job is to let go of all of the bullshit that you don't want. So that's what we're going to do right now. So wherever you are, seated or standing, feel your tailbone pulsing and glittering, and inhale through the nose. Feel the air going all the way up, glittering, healing white light going up your spinal cord, distributing to whatever area your body needs it most. And as you exhale, let it all go, all the way down. Breathe the air as much as you can. Force the air out into as much as you can until there's no more air left in your lungs. And then what you'll notice is that you'll get kind of like an accordion effect, and you'll get a really, really nice breath. And then a lot of times you'll clear your throat as well. You guys should see Hunter. He's so cute. I wish I had the courage to take this camera down off of its tripod and show you how adorable this cat is, but it might never get put up back right. So instead, we're going to do a couple more breaths. So wherever you are, seated or standing, inhale through the nose, which I've already done. Chest expand, shoulders stay down. As you exhale, blow into the smoke all the way down into. And a lot of times I'll recommend that you guys drink water or tea as you're doing these breathing exercises so that you can get like that activation of the diaphragm. So grab a sip. Make sure you guys are staying hydrated because it's been very hot off and on. So make sure you guys are drinking enough water. Last breath before we get to your read. Inhale through the nose. Feel that glittering, healing white light going all up your spinal cord, wherever you need it. That's where it's going, pulling out all of the pain, anything that you need, gone. Breathe it out. All the way down into. And I know that I had said one more time, but I have a feeling we're just going to do one more. Inhale through the nose. Feel the stretch of your lungs. Hold it for as long as you can. Pull anything that you don't want into this breath and then let it go as you exhale. All the way down. Swallow if you have any water. And that's going to trigger your diaphragm, and that's going to help you engage your abdominal muscles, which is going to help you get a bigger, better, more full breath. Exhaling everything out so that eventually this is going to help with all of your lung capacity, your strength capacity, with stress and anxiety. Breathing is everything. So continue to do these breathing exercises even when we're not doing the live reads. Speaking of the live reads, it's time to get to, hello Hunter, you got excited about that. Time to get to card number 1. For those of you who chose card number 1, this was the turquoise, and you have chosen the Knight of Wands reversed, Aconite. This card has actually shown up in one of our readings before as well, so I would be extra interested to know if anybody has had this card before. This would be your second time as I search for my book to give us this, as I reach for my book, to give us this card's interpretation. So we actually had a lot of you choosing, and this one again, the Knight of Wands was reversed. So a lot of people were drawn to the blue, the turquoise, and that was card number 1. So for those of you who did choose Knight of Wands, you're in good company. And Aconite, one major fact to note about the card that you've chosen is that it's poisonous. So this could mean that there's something toxic ahead, or that there's something that you are currently experimenting with that is toxic. So it must be used only in a special detoxified form, which is available at Chinese pharmacies or in minute homeopathic doses. Metabolic stimulant, excellent for low metabolism, coldness, arthritic, and rheumatic complaints. So the reverse meanings of this card are impetuousness and rushing into things too quickly. So what I'm getting for those of you who chose card number 1 is that there's something that has come into your life rather quickly that has unfortunately brought forth a lot of toxicity. And it is something, it sounds like it's something that you have elected into. So it isn't as if this, entity or individual just came into your life. This is actually something that sort of you crossed into its path. And while I'm sure it was probably not your intentions to get involved with something toxic, what I'm getting from this reverse pull is, where did you go? Impetuousness, rushing into things too quickly. So I was in a situation like this not too long ago, although this is not my card. Sort of like the lesson that I'm getting coming through from this is simply think things through twice and 3 times. And it seems to me that this is actually referring to something that's already, it's a decision that you've already made, and you're actually already experiencing the toxicity of this exposure to this stimulus. For some of you it's people, but for other people it sounds like it's substances. So, and it could be not necessarily even like something like drugs or alcohol, but it could be something like, like sugar or caffeine or something like that. And it's a toxicity that's not serving you. So it's a new habit. It's something that's toxic, and it's something that you've elected into. So what I'm getting is that most of you who've chosen this, you guys are pretty aware of what it is because it's just come into your life recently, and it's something that's like you're binging on it. Like I said, for some people I'm getting that it's like bad food, like sugar. For other people it could be alcohol. It could be a toxic person that you're binging on. Friendship, romance, something like that where it's not really serving you. But what I'm getting is that because you got into this so quickly, it shouldn't take too long for you to get back out of it, but you have to catch yourself now. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Lyra. I've just been like going and going. Oh my gosh. Hi, guys. Yeah, I just got to card number 1, Victoria. So yes, binging not healthy. And you just like perked me right up. I was like in the zone. I was just like channel. So yeah, hi, Yvonne. I'm wondering, Yvonne, if you're card number 1, we just finished doing card number 1, but the 3 main things of it were that there's something toxic that you're meant to address. It's something that you chose to bring into your life. You elected into it. I'm trying to remember what else they brought through. It came in pretty quickly, and it's something that you're like binging on, that your guides are letting you know it isn't serving you, and it's okay for you to stop engaging in this activity. And like I was mentioning, is that for some people it's like dietary, for some people it's behavioral, like there's an individual that you're letting into your energy space that you're deep down aware that it's not serving you. So they're giving you the signal, for those of you who chose card number 1, to go ahead and start making the steps toward letting go of this new toxic habit that you've gotten into very quickly. Yay! All right. So for those of you who chose card number 1, it's time to detox. The best time to do the 7-day vegan challenge that I did through Ralph Smart Infinite Waters on YouTube. It started as a 7-day vegan challenge, but it turned into, it's been about 2 years now. So go for, like, if you need like a dietary detox, if you've been having a lot of food. Oh, here's Boston. I didn't even know this cat was behind me. I got a cat behind me here and a cat in front of me. Yay! So Yvonne was blue, I thought. Card number 2 was represented by your rose quartz. Rose quartz. And this was another one upside down. We got some upside downies today. Some reverse meanings coming through for you guys. Page of swords. Page of swords. Dill. Page of swords represented by the herb dill. Victoria says card number 1, detox toxic people or behavioral patterns. Oh, thank you. She's giving us our little bullet points. Thanks, Victoria. You perked me up so much when you came into the room. I don't know if you noticed that or not. So card number 2, Dill, Page of Swords. It was reversed, y'all. So let's get some reverse meanings for you guys for your Page of Swords. I totally spaced out there for a while, like about 10 minutes ago in the video. Pretty funny. I'm going to enjoy watching that on the replay. So your Page of Swords, Dill, it's an antispasmodic, carminative, it's aromatic, it's used in tea or alcohol for digestive upsets and colic in small children. Okay, so this is going to be a solar plexus issue. Also for nervousness caused by digestive upset. Again, this was reversed. There it is. The sun is doing stuff to us this evening. So the reverse meanings are untrustworthy person, spy, opportunist. So this is a big, I'm holding this right side up, but it came up reversed. So the message that I'm immediately getting for those of you who chose card number 2 is there is an advantageous person in your life that has less than altruistic, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm totally spacing today. Less than altruistic meanings for you. Intentions, I suppose. So for those of you who chose the rose quartz, card number 2, let me read this one again, this reverse. This is, man, I'm glad not too many of you chose this card because this isn't it's not a bad message. This is not from the major arcana. But so, yeah, it seems as if you're being watched by either an individual or a group of individuals for whatever reason it is. And what I'm getting, it's as if they're monitoring your behavior for something. So, like, I know how this feels sometimes. I don't know, for those of you who chose card number 2, and it could be not necessarily something that's bad. So it's like, what I'm getting is that there's like a review coming up, and essentially it's like you're having to be observed because you're going to be like graded, or so I don't know if this is like a practical that's coming up for somebody, like a test or something, but it's like, or if it's like up for review, like individuals who are up for a promotion and you are being watched essentially. So the message that I'm getting coming through from card number 2 is just know, like, try to just forget that you're being watched, because like a lot of you, what I'm getting is that you're actually aware that this is like your review time, and so you're being like observed, you're being watched. So try to forget the fact that, this is going on, and just focus on your spirit guides, those who you have around you, that especially also Archangel Michael, who is really big for situations like this. Focus on channeling your ascended masters and not so much the 3D earthly individuals who are going to be handling these issues, because at the end of the day, the power is in your hands. This message took a while to break through, but once it came through, it came through. So just remember that, like, with this situation where you're being evaluated, and in every other situation, you have the power, and you're the one who's making these decisions. And the best help that you can hope for is the ones who you have who are on the other side. So all of your archangels, any of your loved ones who have passed on, especially those who you feel particularly close to, as well as the masters, Jesus, Buddha. These are the ones who will help guide us. So, and this always brings in my message of, like, rather than asking too much advice from too many of your friends or, colleagues or whatever, pray on it first. Always pray on it first before you go asking advice from people who might not have their shit together either. Pray on it first. So knowing that you're being watched and observed, maybe not so much spied on, but those of you who chose card number 2, just remember, just try to forget that you're being observed. Do your best. Remember to pray. Remember to call in your ascended ones and your protectors, and you will be fine. Everything's going to be so good. Hi, Pam. Hi, silly Pam and Tess. Welcome, you guys. We just did card number 2. And basically the gist of it was you're going to be observed by somebody. There's somebody who's going to be watching and observing your behavior. So remember to pray about that for protection and guidance. And we were saying that we're not sure if it is something for work or if it's something personal, but just remember, don't worry about it if you know that you're being observed, if you know that you're being graded about something, block that out and just do your best with your angels and your guides by your side. And that's all you ever have to worry about. And that was your message for card number 2. Number 2. And for card number 3, this week was Gold Flakes from my girlfriend Jen. I love this beautiful gold. And the card was 5 of Cups. Horsetail. 5 of Cups is a message of not crying over spilled milk. I can tell you guys that already because I've drawn this one before. So quite a few of us drew the gold this week, the 5 of Cups, horsetail. Horsetail is a diuretic, astringent. It's an alternative used for inflammatory urinary tract disorders, also for arthritic and rheumatic complaints. She's growling down here. So this one came through upright. The divinatory meanings of horsetail, the 5 of Cups, are preoccupation with loss at the expense of recognition of one's true assets and powers. Negativity, the idea that it isn't real unless it hurts. And this message speaks first to me to the ego's role in loss. So a lot of times we will perceive a loss in our lives a lot greater than it is because of the involvement of the ego and attachment. So a lot of times we'll say, too much earthly attachment can be the root of a lot of unnecessary suffering, and being attached to, anything really, your worldly possessions, but also your loved ones, your significant others. This can create a lot of unnecessary suffering because, hi, yes, Tammy. Pam, remind me, which card did you choose? So we're on card number 3 here. So the big message that I've got coming through for the horsetail for card number 3 is you have suffered a loss, and this was something that was really dear to you. But you are remembering a lot of, it's sort of like you're only seeing the sunshine on all of the good things, but you're forgetting about the things that were inconvenient in your life, about having had this in your life. So for this, to me, for most of you, and a lot of individuals chose this card this week, I'm getting a lot of different senses, because this could be something like you've, for some people, I'm definitely feeling that these are like romantic partners, but I'm also feeling, oh my gosh, excuse me. Okay, something's going to be coming through. This is a big one for somebody. I'm feeling specifically, and I don't know if this individual is in the room right now or if they're going to be seeing this on the replay. This is about a job loss for somebody. And they're sort of second guessing if they had done the right thing. I don't, it could even be for me, I don't know. But like what I'm getting for this one, whether this is a loved one loss or a job loss, or even if it was like a car that was bringing you a lot of like, you just kept having to get it fixed and stuff like that. What I'm really getting come through is that we are tending to remember too much of what we liked about this object or individual and completely forgetting about the reasons that it left our life in the first place, and forgetting that there are certain amounts of time that things and individuals are truly meant to be in our lives. And to let go of something creates more space to allow something new and better to come in. So this is ironic, but like one of the best ways for me to always get over a breakup was to just focus on the stuff that was bad in the relationship. And typically I'm somebody who likes to focus on the positive. But if your heart is breaking and you can't figure out how, how to move on, I would always, and I guess this was just a really good, because this was even before my awakening. This was like my early 20s. Be like, well, I remember this was, a nightmare and blah, blah, blah. But it certainly can cut through those feelings of wanting to, get back into a situation that maybe even like leading back into card number 1 is toxic or isn't serving you. So if it was a certain job, or if this is like a vehicle, I keep hearing like vehicle. There's a lot of spirit. Spirit is rich, and there's been a lot of synchronicity. And I know that you guys have responded to my stories that you guys are also experiencing synchronicity. Like a dozen people responded yes. Yeah. So anyway, I'm getting, at least for one person, this is about your job. Remember, you left the job for a reason. There's something better out there for you. I'm getting something about a car. I don't even know what this car thing is. Message me if you chose card number 3 and you recently like had a change in vehicles. This is something for you. And individuals. So, whether it's a friend who was toxic, even though you were friends with them for a long time, maybe you're going through your spiritual awakening and, all of a sudden the things that they want to talk about, gossip, whatever, spilling tea, it's not resonating with you anymore. This is giving the signal to give you the strength to move on, because you deserve to be in an environment that is at the vibration that you wish to be in all of the time. So surround yourself with individuals who are at the level of vibration that you want to be at, because this vibration is very, very, my English, I don't know if I'm just like, I'm channeling really well today, but my English is just failing me completely. Contagious. Vibration is contagious, you guys. Just like when Victoria came in the room and I just like perked right up and I started channeling the hell out of everything. So just be aware. And if you're around people who you don't want to be like, start to change your circle. That's okay. That means you're evolving. This happens. This is what happens when we wake up spiritually, is that we completely change, our behaviors, our habits, and we start to detox, and it can be painful. In fact, it's very painful. But just remember that this is something that you lovingly agreed to incarnate and come back down here to raise the vibration. So I just wanted to remind you guys that, as star seeds that we all are, we're made of the same stuff that the stars are made of. Okay. So it's like, what does that all mean? It's all magic. There's angels and fairies. And those of you who decided to come back as 3D avatars, just remember it was because you chose to come back to make this earth better, this place better. And you are a unique fingerprint snowflake. There is no other human on this earth who can serve this planet the way that you lovingly promised that you would come down here to do. So your task, your task isn't so much to buy a house or to marry somebody or, to do this. It's just to remember what you said you would come down here to do before you incarnated. And once you sync up with that, it's going to be like a marble on its track, because it's going to be what you love to do, and it's going to be so easy for you to do it. It's going to be like water. It's just going to flow. It's going to ebb and flow. And this is how we're going to change this earth. This is how we're going to raise the vibration. So thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you everybody for participating in the read, for choosing your cards, for commenting, because you know that that's making your pact with the universe. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys, everybody who watches the replay. I also wanted to thank you guys very, very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, for liking the videos, and just for watching the videos, because the views are starting to go up. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would invite you to do that. It is youtube.com/LILKIMM6, the number 6. That link is in my bio. So you guys, once this wraps up, go ahead and just go to my bio. Please click on the link to my YouTube page. If you would be so kind as to subscribe and like every damn video on there, I would just love you forever. Thank you for your bullets, Victoria. You are the best. You guys are the most beautiful baby earthlings. I honor you in everything that you are Please remember not to judge yourself or others as you go through this week. Remember to just gently and kindly restore yourself and others to the highest vibration that you know. Just do your best. Remember, being perfect isn't the goal, because doing your best is not the same as being a perfectionist. You're already perfect. All you have to do is do your best every day. I love you very much. Have the best week ever. Goodbye.